What up, Jeff here with all my Bitcoin renegades, and I wanted to just talk about this today. I really wanted to see why people thought that Elon Musk didn't understand that he was, talking about Baby Doge, because clearly, if you look at the reference that he made down here, then you can clearly tell that he knew exactly what he was saying. Some people say, well, did he mean to pump Doge? No, he knew what he was doing. He knew what Baby Doge was. I mean, this is a little kid's song. So do the math. Baby Doge, do. Well, a little kid song. So yeah, Baby Doge, do. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, like Elon Musk is. And you really think a rocket scientist is dumb enough to say Baby Doge and know that there's actually a cryptocurrency called that? I just thought that was funny that people thought that he actually didn't know what he was doing here, especially with the reference here. I don't know. It was easy for me to see that, but a lot of people just like to say stuff too, though, or point out the other side of something. Like, what was he thinking? Was he trying to pump Doge? Like, why would he pump Baby Doge like that? Maybe, like, why would he do that? Is he crazy? Does he think he's doing Doge? I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what they said. And look what time it was. 2:24 a.m. I mean, did he just have a baby or something? I guess 3 a.m. thoughts, right? I did want to talk about this article because it was awesome, and Eric Genk deserves a shout out for this because this is a good article. It has a lot of good information in it that I'd like to share with you. Dogecoin and Shiba Inu have a new Doge rival competing for Elon Musk's love. What is Baby Doge and why is Elon Musk pumping the Dogecoin knockoff? See, at least this one didn't be like, oh, did he know that it was Doge? Baby Dogecoin is a Dogecoin knockoff, but not a technical spin-off. And basically what that means is that it is a knockoff of it being, yeah, it is like a part, meme. It is a meme coin and it is about a Dogecoin baby, but actually the technical side of it are completely different. One has a blockchain and the other one is a derivative or a token on another blockchain, the Binance Smart Chain to be exact. Self-proclaimed Doge father Elon Musk, also known as the Tesla and SpaceX CEO, tweeted today about Baby Doge, a Dogecoin spinoff, and helped jack up its price by as much as 130%. So, Baby Doge, tweeted Musk in an apparent reference to the Baby Shark dance, a children's song with YouTube's most viewed video with 8.8 billion hits. So, I mean, it even tells you right here. If you read this, you'll know he knew what he was doing. Baby Doge tweeted Musk in an apparent reference to the Baby Shark Dance, a children's song. I mean, it just goes together, and I think that was the point, right? And I think it was kind of a good spin-off that he did. And that's what Baby Doge is of Dogecoin, is kind of like a spin-off. So I think that's pretty cool. Smart dude. Like, no wonder he owns Tesla and SpaceX. I mean, people got mad at him that he dumped the price of Bitcoin. But do you know what? What if we went up to 70,000 and then we had a blow off top all the way back down to $10,000, right? Because the market didn't cool off in such a way because of his tweet. So we're actually probably going to end up thanking Elon Musk for what he did by cooling the market off and giving us a giant correction so it didn't topple the market and burst the bubble and turn it into another 2017 market. We don't want that. We want Bitcoin to have staying power countries adopting Bitcoin, to build our portfolios and be the first people in a technology shift to obtain the wealth that comes with that. From ideas come technology, from technology, wealth. And if you are the first people to get in on that, like if you bought Amazon at its beginning, you $100 or $500, you would almost have $1 million right now. So I, for one, want to be in on a history shift. And to get to that place, is going to take time, and it's going to be a road to get there for sure. I mean, I'd kind of like to research how long it took for each technology shift that we've had in the past. Like, how long does something like that take? Is there an average? Is it, does it depend on what the technology shift is? Or if you guys know anything about that, let me know in the comments below. How many years does it take for a normal technology shift, like the cotton gin? How long did it take from the old way, in the cotton gin, or even before that, like the Ice Age type, to the Stone Age? I'm not talking about that. Just like big technology shifts, like, agriculture, stuff like that. Baby Doge, a baby cryptocurrency that's only 22 days old, is currently trading for that much. It's like to the 300 or the trillionth power. So that is to say, it's worth fractions upon fractions of a penny, but its price is also up 549.5% since its inception, according to CoinGecko data. But what is Baby Doge, and how does it differ from the original canine cryptocurrency, Dogecoin? Baby Doge shares much of the symbolism with Dogecoin, but has nothing to do with it on a technical level. It's not a spin-off in that sense. Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency that exists on its own blockchain network, also referred to as Dogecoin, not unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum. Baby Doge is a token that runs on top of another blockchain's infrastructure, and that would be the BNB, Binance Smart Chain, Binance Coin. And now this is what really impressed me with this video. That made my video impressive, and what impressed me with the article here. Dogecoin is a fork from Lucky Coin, a now defunct cryptocurrency that itself was forked off of Litecoin. And Litecoin, currently the 14th largest cryptocurrency, came into existence as a fork of Bitcoin. As such, Dogecoin developers work to maintain a close proximity to the Bitcoin blockchain. So that is awesome. I never knew that before. I didn't know Dogecoin actually came from Bitcoin. I knew Litecoin did, but I didn't know Litecoin had a hard fork to Lucky Coin, and then Lucky had a hard fork to Dogecoin. I knew about the hard fork from Bitcoin to Litecoin, but that's crazy how it can basically start a life on its own. So if you think about that, basically Dogecoin is Bitcoin, right? Because think of this. It was Bitcoin at first, and what a hard fork is a split in the community. So one person says we want to keep Bitcoin the way it is, and another person says that we want to change Bitcoin. And what they did with Litecoin is they actually wanted to increase the transactions per second to be able to handle more transactions and have, scalability. Let it be able to handle a lot more and have cheaper fees. That's why the Litecoin fees are so cheap. Well, half the community wanted to keep it, half of it didn't, or whatever, however many. So there was a hard fork, which means instead of one Bitcoin blockchain, you now have two that go separate ways. Now you have two individual different blockchains that have their own community. So you still have Bitcoin, but now you have Litecoin too, and they're two separate blockchains now. but this is still Bitcoin, but with better transaction speed, called Litecoin, right? The Litecoin of Bitcoin. All right, so now you have the Litecoin community, right? You have OneCoin and Litecoin. So Bitcoin's over here, Litecoin's over here. Okay, we'll say this is one now. And Litecoin goes on down the road, and we have another split in the community, right? And now we go from Litecoin to Lucky Coin. So you still have Litecoin, whatever they wanted to change in the protocol with Lucky Coin. Now you have two separate blockchains. So you still have Bitcoin way over here. You have Litecoin here now, and then you have Lucky Coin. So now you have three blockchains from the Bitcoin, right? They're all different now because they split. The community split, and then it split again. So now Lucky Coin is actually Bitcoin turned to Litecoin turned to Lucky Coin, but it's still Bitcoin, but changed, right? So then you go from Lucky Coin, another, okay, you have Lucky Coin here, and then the same thing again, boom, and you shift and you get the Dogecoin. And so basically, Dogecoin is Bitcoin that hard forked, which means they just changed something about it, but kept some of it the same. Then they changed it again, probably to, it must have been a gambling cryptocurrency, Lucky Coin. I'll bet you that's what it was. I think I read something about that actually, now that I think about it. And Dogecoin is the meme coin. So I think what happened is probably the gambling thing didn't work out. And so they're like, well, we already have this blockchain, right? We don't want the blockchain to go to waste. Because if you abandon a project, it still has a blockchain. Like, abandoned projects can still have a life of their own. Like Bytecoin, they basically, the developers of Bytecoin, BYTE coin, um, abandon it. And then the bull market came this year, and they at least got back on and updated the wallet because you actually couldn't withdraw your Bitcoin for a while because they just didn't do anything with the network. And so the network speed and the wallet, I guess, I don't know what happened. The wallet ended up um, just malfunctioning because of lack of care, right? So they basically abandoned the project, which means there's no one running it, no one to upgrade, and so, but people were still buying Bitcoin. That's what I'm saying. It kind of took on a life of its own. The only problem is if you had your Bitcoin in the actual Bitcoin by B wallet, which is ran by the Bitcoin network, since the developers weren't running that, you couldn't move your Bitcoin. I had like hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, right? I wanted to hold them just in case they went up. And so I wasn't able to get them out for so long. And then the bull market came. And I think 6 months later, I was able to get them. They still weren't worth very much, though. That's the only problem. Bitcoin, I don't know, man. If you abandon a project, it's really hard to gain traction again. I don't know why. They did still have a little bit of traction, even though the developers just kind of gave up on it for a while. I mean, but you still have that blockchain. It's still there. It still exists, and there's still coins on it. But it depends on the value. And like another one that happened to was Potcoin, I think it was called, and they just got rid of it completely. Now it's done. Like all the exchanges got rid of it. Yeah, it's just gone. I don't know. They just cut it. So. Well, I wanted to go into one more piece of news here tonight, and it's also in Decrypt. Let's see. I know I'm reading that. Um, let's see. All right, here. Cool. I just wanted to talk about this because this is kind of interesting to me. I'm not too huge into politics and stuff. Um, I do definitely believe in voting and stuff like that, but I don't put a lot of time and effort into politics unless I'm getting ready to vote. But El Salvador has made Bitcoin legal tender and on par with the US dollar within its country. The US government may have some concerns. Well, the US urges El Salvador to ensure Bitcoin is well regulated. Okay, and so what I think this means is actually a good thing. They might have some concerns, which is understandable because, like I told you, any government, and that would be in a video that I previously did right up here, and governments, when they don't understand things, they get fearful. And then they pass that fear onto the people. And then you get mass hysteria that comes. And you just get fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? FUD. Okay? And FUD can turn a whole country on its head, right? Maybe not the US, but El Salvador. So what they're trying to do is make sure that doesn't happen, right? So what they're saying is just regulate it. Make sure that you do it correct. And I think this might actually be the United States way of testing their waters. Testing the Bitcoin waters. Dipping their toe in the shallow end of the pool. Just like Elon Musk and Tesla did with PayPal when they bought Bitcoin before Tesla did. Okay, I know Elon Musk still has ties with PayPal. Okay, that's proof. You can look that up anywhere. He designed PayPal, helped design it. He's definitely still friends with the people that own it. So I am almost guaranteeing if he wasn't directly involved, he had a discussion with the people that own PayPal and was like, okay, that's how it worked. And then he talked to Michael Saylor after that and got the playbook, right? But he wanted to make sure before he did it. And I think that's what the United States is doing. Maybe not, they're not going to adopt it in our country, but they might go to Puerto Rico, right? They might go to, help other countries or not sanction other countries for doing it. Not say, hey, if you do that, if you have a natural disaster or, something happens, we won't help you. You have a war. Someone comes and, steals a bunch of stuff and hurts your people. We won't do nothing. So that's what they could have done. So having some concerns is, a good thing, right? Because El Salvador already went through a giant monetary shift in their economy. With the U.S. dollar shift, when they put the U.S. dollar into their government and their monetary system, they had some kind of, I don't know what they had before. I think it was their own money, and it just didn't work. Inflation just wrecked them. And so they had to switch over to U.S. Dollars, which probably threw their economy into kind of a spiral. And I'm sure the U.S. helped them at that point, especially since the U.S. dollar. That's probably why we probably ended up rescuing them from that, or at least helping them out. And so, is El Salvador, closely tied with the U.S.? We definitely have good ties. So, um, yeah, I just think that as long as this happens slowly over time and they don't rush it, I think that it could happen and be a good thing for these people. There are so many poor countries, and this could possibly help the poor a little bit. Especially right now, while it isn't a huge asset yet. It could have really helped poor countries 10 years ago. Um, Things take time though, and in time, you got to learn patience, and they might not have been ready for it at the time. I don't think Bitcoin was ready for it at the time. I just don't think it was developed enough, and it wasn't. You have to have time with something to prove that it can work. and then you gain experience, and it gains traction, and it gains momentum, and it gains patterns, right? Then you can take all of that kind of stuff and plan a future for it and where you want it to go. And if it absolutely cannot reach that future, then you can see that it's a broken asset, that it's a broken thing, that it can't do that, right? And so when Hal Finney bought those two pizzas for all those Bitcoin them years ago, right? How many Bitcoin? I forget, man. I wish I knew that right offhand. I forget how many Bitcoin he paid for the two pizzas. How many Bitcoin did Hal Finney pay for the two pizzas? Okay. So since the two pizzas cost $25 and the transaction was settled with 10,000 Bitcoin. That was the first transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain. 10 or not the first transaction, I'm sorry. The first monetary transaction that was worth money. 10,000 Bitcoin was worth $25 when Bitcoin was first created. I wanted to say two for some reason. I'm like, there's no way because I thought it was worth millions of dollars now. So 10,000 Bitcoin times 30,000 is like 30 million bucks or something. Just a ridiculous amount. Maybe, you know. So, all right, guys. That being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good Bitcoin. Bang! And be so wonderful.